beings of great psychic and technological power. They possess great weaponry for attack and defense, and are a real danger to the other worlds, even to the custodians. Beings originating animate morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Insectoid grayish-greenish skin and large black eyes, resembling a praying mantis. Status active. Technological progress A4. Developmental focus, exploration, attack, and defense. Conflicts. Have had several conflicts around other worlds, also with custodians and Anunnaki, are big brothers of the Orion Greys. Exploration and conquest. They have conquered free lands all around. Contact with humanity. Active contact, abduction, and experiments. Lands of QUAOARX. Coding N855. Summary. Very advanced beings spiritually. It is said that they are the ones that have had more progress with respect to the 178 worlds. Beings original. Quars. Morphology in relation to the one known to mankind. Insectoids. Status active. Technological progress.
Meaning ongoing.
Development focus. Spiritual. Conflicts. Custodians. Exploration and conquest. Unknown. Contact with humanity. None. Lands of Neptune. Coding Y556. Summary. Beings that survive the little vegetation of their circle environment and the great sandstorms, creators of great buildings, colonized for a time by the Anunnaki. Beings originating Neptunians. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoid, dark blue, scaly skin. Status active. Technological progress A3. Developmental focus. Spiritual exploration and attack. Conflicts Anunnaki. Exploration and conquest. Exploration of other worlds. They do not agree to conquer other lands. Conquering other lands. Contact with humanity. Only with the human colony on Mars. Second Earth, lands of clones. Coding Y557. Summary. Land used as laboratory or experimental simulation.
That's the
It is
language
known
for
that
Mars.
at the beginning it was used as a land for cloning beings. Beings original. Clones. Morphology. State. Technological progress. Development approach. It is believed that beings were moved there to experiment with them. Lands of Uranus. Coding Y558. Summary. Giant beings of long life with the gift of sight. They can observe for several kilometers and see any detail. They are getting sick lately due to deterioration by genetic modification in laboratories. It is believed that it is part of an experiment from custodians. Beings originating Uranites. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoid, pinkish skin, large dark eyes generally.
I just want to add, the more colorful these products are, the more poison it's in them. It's poisonous. I knew that, but I really needed to try this. It's xylite. It's not salt. It's not sugar. It's a lemon, and I love lemon, so I had to try it. Very good. Syra. Move on.
Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoid, pinkish skin, large dark eyes generally, but few beings with totally white eyes. Their height can reach 5.5 meters. Status, active. Technological progress, A2. Development focus, spiritual. Conflicts, custodial. Exploration and conquest, unknown. Contact with humanity, null. Tier. Coding, X070. Summary. Beings of great technological and spiritual advancement. Although they are three different types of races, each living in their respective environments, they never had any internal conflicts. Beings originating, tier. Morphology, in relation to the one known to mankind, reptilian giants. Status, active. Technological progress, A4. Development focus, exploration, attack, and defense. Conflicts, Nibiru. Exploration and conquest. Have explored surrounding lands and other worlds. Contact with humanity. Past contact. Nibiru. Coding.
I've got a text for you.
X474.
Nibiru.
Summary. Very strong physical beings and of a great technological advance. It is said that it was a laboratory creation between Dystopians and Anunnaki, but it is not confirmed. Beings originating Nibirans. Morphology in relation to the one known by mankind. Humanoid fish. Status, active. Technological progress, A5. Developmental focus, exploration, attack, and defense. Conflicts. They have had conflicts with most of the surrounding lands, and were mainly responsible for many extinct races. Exploration and conquest. Have explored and conquered surrounding lands and other worlds. Contact with humanity. Past contact cannot be confirmed at present. Homa. Coding, C493. Summary. Beings of little technological development, still at an early age, were saved by the Arcturians when by an internal war they reached the critical point of their near disappearance. Beings originating Homamites. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Insectoids. Status, active. Technological progress, A2. Developmental focus, attack and defense. Conflicts. Exploration and conquest.
Halo? Onako, eto, borim se. Jeo sam nešto malo.
Gledam video i ovo, znaš, pa kako da vidim dlak je baš tamo nekakav. Ništa te ne boli tako.
Ne. Ne i boli.
Ručam,
Ovo,
djeci,
da.
dobro. Ništa je tako.
Ma jest. Može, mogu jesti tako, šta, nema problema.
Dobro, to je dobro, da. To je to. Kako da ne? Nije. Nema s temperaturu i tako nešto, ne?
Ne.
Tako da ti je malo bolji glad nego
23. Summary. Extremely spiritual beings with some technological advancement at this time. It is said that they were the first to contact humans to help them and before the custodians took their lands. Beings originating. Venusian's morphology relative to that known to mankind. Humanoid, blue skin, white hair. Status, active. Technological progress, A4. Developmental focus, spiritual, attack and defense. Conflicts, custodians, Anunnaki, Greys, Edimans, Jovians, Neborians. Exploration and conquest, have explored several other worlds, have also penetrated the known lands. Contact with humanity, active contact with ancestral ones. Lacerta's lands. Coding, N8125. Summary, psychic beings with great technological advancement. Beings originating, Lacertians. Morphology, relative to that known to mankind, reptilians. Status, active. Technological progress, A.
Summary for me. There are beings all over the universe. They are seen as aliens. But we are also aliens. Because we don't come from this circle environment. Our souls, we come from the ancestral lands. We don't come from here. Our souls do not. We are born into this slavery body. You learn this in time. You come here, you're born here as a slave under the dome, in this skin, body, flesh. But you are a spirit being, you're a light being. Born into slavery, into bondage, as they say, as we say. But you have to break through somehow by realizing, you know. And the more you know, the better. That's your way of freedom, way to freedom.
Technological progress, A4. Developmental focus, exploration, attack and defense. Conflicts, Anunnaki. Exploration and conquest, have penetrated and conquered several other worlds. Contact with humanity, past contact not currently confirmed. POLUX. Coding, N8165. Summary, beings that coexist with creatures of colossal sizes only in the lands called Yom. Beings originating, Poluxians. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind.
The more you know, the better. The freer you
Status,
are.
active.
The
Technological
awareness
A3.
is the key.
Development
That's why they
focus,
lie in this
exploration,
circle environment
attack,
where you live, where you're
defense.
born.
Conflicts,
You're not
internal
free.
wars and custodians. Exploration and conquest, unknown. Contact with humanity, unknown. ARIETIS.
He's mentioning all these different races that have been in contact with humanity. Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
ARIETIS. Coding, N8170. Summary. These beings were annihilated by the custodians since they rebelled during their conquest. It is unknown who lives in these lands today, or if it is an area where only vegetation exists. Beings original, Arietes. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Insectoids. Status extinct. Brahma. Coding, N8173. Summary: spiritually advanced beings. Lance Hamsa. Beings originating Brahmites. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoids. Status active. Technological progress A2. Development focus spiritual. Conflicts. Exploration and conquest. Contact with humanity unknown. Add you. Coding X176. Summary: beings of great technological advancement. Beings originating Addis. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoids. Status active. Technological progress A3. Development focus attack and defense. Conflicts Nibiru. Exploration and conquest surrounding lands. Contact with humanity null. Celestial lands Terra Incognita. Coding K001. Summary: mysterious lands that no one has been able to penetrate. According to studies and experiments carried out by the custodians together with the Anunnaki and Orion Greys, it is said that the souls or the source that integrate the human bodies return to this place once they disincarnate, since they are the only ones that could cross this dome. But the physical bodies disintegrate as soon as they cross it. Status: area under study. Possible direct connection with the Dome of the Portals and the Dome of the Forgotten Gods. Lands where their original beings became extinct. Solder N832. Extinct beings by internal warfare. Caligula X072. Extinct creatures in their early stage of development by an intrusion of Nibiru beings. Nibiru's leaders have taken over these lands. The final dome, X073,
I thought it was done on
extinct creatures in their early stage of development by intrusion of beings from Nibiru.
They have their own land, Anunnaki lands.
X075, extinct creatures in their early stage of development by intrusion of beings from Nibiru. The leaders of Nibiru have taken these lands. Greenstones, X076, creatures extinct in their early stage of development due to intrusion of beings from Nibiru. Era X077, creatures extinct in their early phase of development by intrusion of beings from Nibiru. The leaders of Nibiru have taken these lands. Scutum C479, extinct creatures in their early stage of development by intrusion of beings from Nibiru. Planet X, X081, creatures extinct in their early stage of development by intrusion of beings from Nibiru. The leaders of Nibiru have taken these lands. The following is the list of those extinct creatures in their early stage of development by intrusion of the custodians who have taken their lands. Helvetios, C484 Enid, C485. Confirmed by Helen that there are no custodians in the area by last visit. Then others like Infinite Lands, Beham, Crater 18, Delta 1, R. Lyrae, XY Lyrae, Meru, and Polybotes. Early stage of development. The following is the list of those lands where their creatures are in early development phase, either by the intrusion of colonizers, by their own deficiency, resets, or simply by timeline. Rafak, C422, creatures of colossal size, temporary development. Insectoids, large black and red arachnids. Algal, C423, same as MIRFAK, creatures of colossal sizes, temporanean development. Insectoids, arachnids. Menship, C-424, same as MIRFAK and Algol, creatures of colossal sizes, temporary development, snakes. Nucleus 270 C-426, circle environment, modified by custodians, and Anunnaki to form another type of life to the original one. Also, Hydra, N8128, possible extinction of originators due to enemy intrusion of Hyva-Dome beings, Palanders. Following is the list of those circumenvironments that underwent modifications by the custodians and Anunnaki to form another type of life from the original. Nucleus 270 C-426, originally beings with characteristics similar to Canis lupus, and today hybrid reptilian is developed. Nucleus 290, 284, 294, and 274, hybrid beings. The theory of the other domes. Recalling the famous custodial report, 1940-2, that we had already mentioned in the book Lands of Custodians, and which also began to give us enough clues about what was to come. And that basically what it said was that they had achieved such deep excavations in the Great Barrier Membrane or dome, using advanced technology of the Anunnaki and Orion, confirmed the existence of being able to penetrate it through tunnels and reach the other unknown side. 1031 different races were used in the eagerness to reach new lands, and not wanting to expose themselves, that were taken out of their respective matrix cells. It was later confirmed in later reports that the navigation with unknown technology was a success to navigate through the dark matter or ether, and thus reach other uncertain directions.
Beyond the Great Dome.
3,040 beings of different
outside
species were used to carry out this exploration. What we have been able to obtain so far is the following. There would be 4 well-differentiated domes around ours, and also 3 smaller ones. So we are talking about at least 7 different domes surrounding us with different lives, different feelings, technology, hostility, dreams, and a lot of other things. The dome that the Anunnaki custodians are reported to be having a very hard time with is the Dome of Sheol, which would be composed of 11 different free lands. Terra Infinita, other domes. The Dome of Sheol. This particular dome, which would be found crossing the Great Dome or barrier membrane by the penetration made by the keepers through this membrane below, in the north of the Wasp Lands, navigation by the dark matter, ether, is for a special chapter to come later, as it cannot yet be published. In the meantime, let us focus on this theory of the other domes, which comprise also the great Terra Infinita. The Dome of Sheol contains lands that are not encapsulated by means of domes, as we know them in our lands, but rather are free lands within a single great dividing dome. Let's go through the summary of each land that could be compiled. ARALU. Summary. In the snowy lands of Aralu, the temperature can range from minus 30 degrees to minus 85 degrees. Beings, Araluids. Morphology, relative to that known to mankind. Humanoid fish.
Humanoid fish,
active, existing. Technological progress, A3. Development focus, attack and defense. Conflicts, neighboring beings of Assyria and of cordial treatment with the Tanakhis beings of the south and Tanakh. At present, nowadays in conflict with Endor and all the beings they move there. There are also conflicts for the area of ARALU. Exploration and conquest. The the Aruluan beings explored a great part of the lands of the Dome of Shoal. However, they only took few lands, as for example Shakhat and Hattusa. For what it is known, they did it to repel any enemy attack that could come from the south. Contact with humanity, nil. Gehenna. Summary. Neighbors of the first ones, their lands in the great majority are full of volcanic ashes, but they have a great part of frozen lands. Their beings are distributed by the northern and southern part, leaving the center uninhabited, as it is a rather inhospitable area. Beings, Gehennacites. Morphology in relation to the one known to mankind. Humanoid fish, Argyrosomus type. Status, active, existing, in danger of extinction due to reproductive problems. Technological progress, A3. Development focus, exploration. Conflicts, no current conflicts. Exploration and conquest. They are born travelers. They have been the second to penetrate their Great Dome and explore southern lands, as well as the entrance to the Great Dome of the 178 worlds. It is said that a small colony could be established in the lands of Wasp and Aldulfin. Contact with humanity, nil. Sol. Beings extinct by internal wars in the past, they had begun their development very early in conjunction with Endor, but could not resolve their differences and ended up annihilating each other by using developed and powerful weaponry. The area today is forbidden as there are still traces of toxins among the giant reddish mountains in the south. Abaddon, beings in early stages of development. Dead Souls lands. There is no plant or animal life here. Shakhat. Beings in early development phase. Lands taken by Aruluans. Hattusa. Beings that are coming out of the early phase and have advanced technology delivered by the beings of Endor. It is possible that they are under a kind of colonization and struggle between Endor and Aruluans. Anguish, lands where the cruelest battles of the Dome were fought, between beings of Endor and Assyria. Today exists only beings in early phase of development. Endor, very technologically advanced beings that developed very early, and that today also took lands of the south called Tanakh, and intend to take Hattusa. Beings, Endor. Morphology in relation to the one known to mankind. Humanoid fish. Status, active, existing, endangered due to reproductive problems. Technological progress, A3. Development focus, exploration. Conflicts. Conflicts with Aruluans for the lands of Sol and with other beings of the same dome. In the remote past, they had conflicts with Poluxians, Polux, in the dome of the 178 worlds. Exploration and conquest. They are born colonizers and usually take advantage to take lands under strategies of supposed technological aids. Today, they are trying it with several lands around, especially with beings in early phase of development. Contact with humanity, possible past contact.
To survive.
Assyri, beings that have a certain peaceful relationship with their Aralu neighbors. Therefore, they are enemies of Endor. Their lands are immense, as well as their population. They have a great advance in exploration technology, and have departed several times to other domes. They are the few of this dome that know the Dome of Silence, although there is not much information about it from the custodian reports so far. Beings, Assyrios. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Fish humanoid. Technological progress, A5. Exploration and conquest. They have reached the vast lands within the 178 world's dome. They have also explored all the lands within their great dome. Tanakh. The most powerful beings of the dome. Their technological advance is so advanced that hardly any neighbor wants to face them. At this moment, their progress and development is based on spirituality. Therefore, they keep out of any conflict between neighboring beings. But as defenders of the area, they are entering a war against custodians and Anunnaki, since they penetrated their dome and were warned on several occasions about different attitudes towards other races. Besides, they want to keep them out of the dome of the portals, since they do not agree with its use. It is said that very possibly they have been taken out of the dome in some battles where clearly the custodians were harmed. The Tanakhis have a technological advancement of A7 and are able to move very quickly between lands and domes. Their advancement in exploration also covers great magnitude. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Humanoid fish. Conflicts, custodians, Anunnaki, and Greys at present.
The new ones.
The Dome of Hyva, the Broken Wing. According to the reports on the custodian scans that were informed by infiltration of the beings of Cassiopeia, this particular dome was denominated this way by the forms of its lands. In it are the mysterious and advanced beings of Rapa Nui, who would be the only physical beings at the moment capable of having reached such degree of technological advance and manipulation of portals to reach other domes by means of them. This way, they would be beings that could study very well each corner of the Terra Infinita. What is known about the history of the beings that coexist in these lands is that at the present time they are basing their technology for the spiritual growth and of the species as a whole. But this does not mean that they do not have enough technology to be able to defend themselves and attack any species that enters their dome with intentions that go against their growth and development. Due to the fact that they do not have lands under domes, the beings coexist and know each other almost entirely from the beginning. For this reason, in the past, they have had several conflicts that with the passage of time and development have been able to solve successfully. P.O. lands. Summary. The inhabitants of this great city lived their lives peacefully after so many storms under enemy fire and wars that almost left the entire dome in the same extinction. Beings, Palanders. Morphology, relation to that known to mankind. Humanoid fish. Status, active. Technological progress, A5. Developmental focus. Attack and defense past, spiritual, present. Conflicts, in the past with all other lands, especially with the southern half as the great battle of Henga Valley and Garani. Exploration and conquest. They have explored both the lands inside the great dome of Hyva, as well as quite a lot of surface of the lands of the domes of portals and 5 peaks, and of course inside the great dome of the 178 worlds. Having great relationship with some of those beings in Lacerta and in Hydra, before its extinction. In fact, it is suspected if the Palanders had something to do with this. Contact with humanity, minimal during the second reset. Bariki Maahu lands. Summary. Its name is due to its leader, Ariki, who saved a great part of his brothers during a great flood, making them mobilize based on their visions to move the great city to where it is today. Time later, The whole sector of the old city was destroyed and sunk under the ocean. In the central part of this dome, which would give rise to the lands of Rapa Nui, and where today these same beings are located in the southern part. Beings Mahudas. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Beings different from what is known. Status active. Technological progress A5. Development focus. Attack and defense and currently spiritual. Conflicts Palanders past. Exploration and conquest. They have always moved locally. Once they settled where they are today, they have not moved from the dome for exploration. Contact with humanity, null. Henga Valley. Summary. In
The
this
lies
arid
we've been
zone
taught.
where no vegetation grows or promises for the development of life are the Henga beings, who have had very little development yet. However, other beings around today are helping them to survive. Beings Henga. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Beings different from what is known. Status active. Technological progress A2. Developmental focus spiritual. Conflicts. Their lands were rich in minerals and vegetation, but the crude wars of the past have left the area destroyed. Therefore, they have adapted to the present and have not wanted to move in large groups. Their center still remains there, although some beings have migrated. Exploration and conquest, null. Contact with humanity, null. Rapa Nui Fjord. The beings of Rapa Nui had in their power a portal, P341X, capable of transporting matter from their lands to any part, even from other domes. For this reason, it is known that they visited large parts of lands of the old and known continents within the earth. Many related them with beings from Easter Island. And probably they have not only visited those lands, but have been sighted by other beings in many occasions. They are very long-lived beings, and can live more than 1,000 human years. Beings, Rapa Nui morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Beings similar to old trees. Their movements are slow, and their colors vary from gray to various shades of brown. Status active.
I have to add this one. You age 1 year every time your cell is renewed. That's how you measure your years. So I'm not almost 40, 39. I am something else entirely. That's when my every cell in my body, every cell in my body renews. That's how we count and measure our age. We have been lied to. We have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Technological progress, A7. Development focus, exploration, attack, defense, and spiritual. Conflicts. In the past, they have tried to avoid any conflict, but they have had great battles with the Palanders. Exploration and conquest. It is unknown if they have wanted to conquer other lands. They have the ability to move easily from one point to another, even between domes. So they have great knowledge of the Terra Infinita and its less visited corners, in addition to the knowledge of the different races that inhabit it. Contact with humanity. They have had contact with humanity, and it is believed that they still have it today. Tukumora lands. Summary. Beings of great psychic power and technological advancement for attack and defense. Beings Moris. Morphology in relation to that known to mankind. Beings of a very small height. Their complexion is reddish and their eyes are yellow. Status active. Technological progress A6. Development focus, spiritual currently. Conflicts. It is said that they were the first to start a cruel war against the Palanders when they were beginning to develop. Exploration and conquest. They may have wanted to take over the Po lands in the past. Also, battles were fought in Henga Valley against the Angerians. Contact with humanity, unknown. Ngerani lands. Summary. The past full of wars against Palanders and Moris have made them go back many boxes with respect to the advance that they had had. Today, they are among the least advanced of the Dome. Beings, Ngerians. Morphology in relation to the known by humanity. Beings of small stature, gray and large dark eyes, have a white coat. Status, active. Technological progress, A3. Developmental focus, attack and defense, currently spiritual. Conflicts, in the past with other species of the same dome, as well as internal wars. Exploration and conquest, unknown. Contact with humanity, unknown. The Dome of the Portals and the Dome of the Five Peaks. The Dome of the Portals became, in recent times, the new mission for the Custodians, as they believe it has great connection with the celestial lands and the Dome of the Forgotten Gods. For this reason, they are having big problems with beings from the North Dome Shoal and the Guardians that maintain the area. The Dome of the Portals is integrated by RZ2, RZ3, and the lands of Lemnox. It is believed that Lemnox would be the leader of the Dome and would have connection with the lands of Shiva, Vishnu, Lakshmi, and Parvati of the Forgotten Gods. But no more information about it could be obtained, and it is only a rumor. The beings of the Five Peaks also keep the area clean of intruders with large radars and advanced technology. In the Dome of the Portals, it is unknown if there is any type of advanced species. The scans and the little that could be obtained is that there is abundant animal life and vegetation, and clearly there are portals that are not yet confirmed their connection and where they transfer the matter. The beings of the Five Peaks are among the few privileged to be able to enter the mentioned dome. It is unknown if they use or have previously used. These beings are very particular, since their progress in the laboratories have allowed them to acquire great psychic power and modify their own bodies in such a way that they possess great abilities. According to custodial scans, there is only developed life in the center, and its other four peaks are not inhabited by creatures or advanced beings. The Dome of Silence. This dome, on the other hand, is a total mystery, and at the moment, we cannot give great information, nor have we received any progress, because of the issue of the war or great conflict that the parasitic races are having with the beings of the domes mentioned above. It has really been difficult for them to advance to the other side. What we know from previous scans is that there are lands without domes inside, which we call Zen and Samsara. No life or advanced structures have been registered, but neither can we confirm that there are no beings of great development there. The Dome of the Titans. This immense dome is of all the most similar to ours, since inside there are many different worlds with their respective dome membranes that differentiate their environments and can block their entrance. They are counted for the moment 69 worlds, where according to the respective scans and deep studies in some of them, there is life of developed beings that have colossal sizes, approximately between 12.5 and 19 meters high. These titans can develop any force superior to any world that integrates our dome. Of these 69 worlds, there are 14 differential worlds that apparently are used as a means for survival. This means that they have had to get there for their species to survive. If at a certain time the species do not reach a certain development to leave their own dome and find these domes called bloodline in time, they would perish and another species would be born again in the same conditions until reaching the mentioned domes. It is estimated that these titans are born in their domes with some kind of congenital disease without really knowing the factor. But each and every one of the races existing there have it, and the bloodlines would be the antidote to stop the extinction and the tragic end that would make them reset their circle environment. This is the theory that is being studied today in this particular Great Dome of Titans. For this reason, there are many races that are in a very early stage of development, because for some reason they did not find the bloodlines in time, due to internal conflicts or some external reason that has left them out of the way. Although they are not conflicted beings, and there are no great wars between domes, the curious thing is that there is no reference of any race helping another to survive to reach the bloodline. But they respect that each species must get there by their own means. Only 9 races have been able to survive reaching the domes that have the cure in their possession, or better said, they reached the bloodline in time. In the bloodlines, it has not been determined if life exists. The species that reach them are the following: Prometheus, Thea, Themis, Megamedes, Titan, Selene, Mylinus, Muses, Elder, and Dio. Those that have not yet reached cure and have been reset at least once during their timeline are Hecate, Atlas, Eos, Helios, Mendetis, Epimetheus, Uranides, Oceanus, Koios, Hyperion, Crius, Rhea, Asteria, Lapidus, Mnemosyne, Phoebe, Iapetio, Nides, Tethys, Cronus, Andes, Hoplodamus, Lelantos, Syceus, Thia, Olymbrus, Adanus, Leto, Rhea 2, Styx, Polus, Gigantes, Kouretes, Eurbia, Crius X, Colos X, Persis X, Pallas X, Astraeus X, Klymenex, Ancialex, Aura X, Olympus X, Demeter, Titanesses, Hera, and Ophion. The Dome of the Forgotten Gods. This dome has undoubtedly become, in these last times, by all the information that we are receiving in the biggest secret of the Terra Infinita. Will other secrets come in the future? It is possible, but very difficult to surpass it, since we are talking about a dome that, as its name indicates, would have a great connection with the Terra Incognita and the souls, or the source that integrate the human bodies. Its lands we call Shiva, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Parvati, and a name that for the moment we cannot mention. There is still much unknown about this great dome. It is possible that some information has been taken from the Rapa Nui beings, and some other race that has the ability to manipulate the portals very well, since the physical entrance to this dome is practically impossible. It is not known for sure how many domes integrate it, but it is believed that it could have more than 15. Why is it so closed? Are there beings that protect it? Are there physical beings in there? These questions, and many others that may arise to the reader at the moment, cannot be answered. As we move forward and receive more information, we will certainly add it. What is certain is that deciphering this mystery would surely give us an answer so clear about the beginning of humanity, even more than the contact we could have with the first humans, Anyway, we also anxiously await news of our beloved giant human Shiki to return from Asgard, and we can find out if there are still vestiges or even ancestral humans prior to the first reset. About the author, Claudio Noceli. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, lover of occult stories since I was a child, I followed the skies closely after spending hours reading about UFOs and everything related to extraterrestrials. But something did not fit me in those interstellar travels until the story of the Navigator would finally dispel so many doubts, in addition to the ideas of ancient books of mythology and travel that created a possible connection with lands and planets behind the poles. Everything began to have another perspective and sense, especially regarding the human past and the infinite spiritual potential. Creator of the YouTube channel, Nos Confunden and Nos Confundieren, with more than 8 million views, author of the following books: The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Walls, Worlds Beyond the Antarctica, Terra Infinita, Extraterrestrial Worlds and Their Civilized Actions, the story told by the woman who was born in the lands behind the ice walls, Terra Infinita Map Lands of Mars, 178 Worlds Under the Great Dome, Lands of Custodians, 178 Worlds Under the Great Dome, Hidden Lands Beyond the Antarctica, the continuation of Morris's journey between interconnected planets, Terra Infinita, the trilogy. Books by this author: The Navigator WHO Crossed the Ice Walls, Worlds Beyond the Antarctica. The story of Navigator William Morris, who, after the Independence War in the United States, decides to investigate with his new vessel the waters surrounding the Antarctic Circle, finding an unknown passage to an open sea. Other lands await him behind, along with another civilization. The story will begin to reveal to the entire group another reality based on the true past and future of the human being. It will finally lead him to the discovery of other worlds behind the Antarctica, and most importantly, to know himself, a unique journey from which nothing will ever be the same again. Terra Infinita, Extraterrestrial Worlds and Their Civilizations, the story told by the woman who was born in the lands behind the ice walls. The story told by the woman who comes from the lands behind the ice walls, in the ancestral republic, daughter of the Navigator William Morris, who will provide information that was hidden from us for a long time about the worlds that are crossing the poles and the secrets of extraterrestrial civilizations. We will also be able to discover the human history before the last reset, and the continuation of what happened to her father when he returned to our lands. This can change everything. Hidden lands beyond.
They do all these resets after reset, so you don't remember. You swap your memory.
Hidden lands beyond the Antarctica. The continuation of Morris's journey between interconnected planets. Helen Morris, the daughter of the Navigator born in the lands behind Antarctica, gives us more details about the continuation of her father William's journey, the giant humans and the hidden petrified trees, the importance of returning to our lands, the contact with other beings coming from other planet domes, and the stories and secret information kept in the great ancestral library. Each chapter gives us more clarity about the worlds and civilizations that surround us. This story will immerse us in a unique journey into the human past and future, and above all, an inner journey into our true human essence. The Lands of Mars, 178 Worlds Under the Great Dome. 178 Worlds Under the Great Dome, Volume 1, the collection of the hidden books about lands beyond the ice walls. The lands of Mars hide much more than we imagine. Here, we can read the stories of the origin of the Martians in conjunction with the ancestral expeditions of the humans who live behind the ice walls. Chapter 1. Where does the information from the other worlds come from? Chapter 2. Mars, a great suit. Chapter 3. The red planet stained with innocent blood. Chapter 4. The ancestral
planet.
expedition.
That's Mars.
The writings of Captain Rold. Chapter 5. The ship of repentance once. Chapter 6. The portal hidden on Mars. Chapter 7. The dark membrane. Information behind the Great Dome. Lands of Custodians. 178 worlds under the Great Dome. In this book, we will begin to learn more about our colonizing enemy. Who are the Custodians?
I want you to buy
How did they
their
come to colonize
advertising
so
here. The
many
next book,
lands? Why have they
My
gained so
Journey
much power?
to
This
Antarctica.
parasitic race does not seem to want to leave our lands, nor let us know our true history and essence. We will also take a journey into the past to learn about part of our origin and the importance
And I
of
want
the
to-
human soul. The human being from the research
Essence,
and its
human
subsequent
essence.
results seems to
Spark.
have become the preferred race not to let it escape,
The All
and
Spark.
set as its main mission to manipulate it to the point that it cannot develop to its full potential. As this could be of great danger to the custodial race,
They are
their
afraid.
desire to continue to have the same power over these and all the lands surrounding this great dome. Copyright Claudio Nocelli, copyright NOS Confunden, copyright 2024.
And that's it. There are several books. Book 5 is about the one I mentioned, My Journey to Antarctica, Crossing the First Dome. And that's the book 5. Book 6 is called And the Dome and the Outer Space Projection. And below it says year 1728, the last reset. That's the book 6. Book 8. The fragment of the dome, vision of the descendant, deceased beings, and experimental lands. Claudio Nocelli, Nos Confunden. That's book 8. I have the 7th. The 7th book is about the custodian lands. These are the three books. The trilogy. That's the beginning. And this was the 4th book, audio, converted. Yes. This is so large, so big. Book 1, The Navigator. Here it's called The Navigator crossed the ice walls, but it's a better picture here of a ship. It's so amazing. It's just energy and food for your mind. What are we being taught here in schools? Bullshit, lies, just so they can distract you, you know. I don't know what to say. What to say. I feel anger, fooled. Nothing means anything. That's how they want to keep you low frequency, vibration. You unknowing, you know, not knowing anything. You come from a big bang. That's what they want you to believe. Amazing. Enough is enough is enough. I can go on. Thanks for today. 1 hour. This took me 1 hour to go through, in ups and downs, phone calls, and